Major cyclone Biparjoy has made landfall. Strong winds and heavy rainfall are pounding the coastline of India and Pakistan. Now, according to the Indian Met Department, it will hit the coast between Karachi and Mandvi and regions close to the port of Jakao in Gujarat. And it's moving at the speed of 115 kilometers per hour, and up to midnight, the landfall process will continue. Now, nearly 1,75,000 people have fled the predicted path of the cyclone Biparjoy. Meteorologists are warning it could devastate homes and tear down power lines. Now, authorities say that the storm has lost some of its intensity, but it still remains a cause of concern as wind speeds of 135 kilometers per hour are predicted. These are images from Bhuj in India's western state of Gujarat. Take a look. This is a region where heavy rains and winds are already being witnessed. The national and state disaster response forces have been deployed and people have been moved away from the coastal areas. Now, authorities in India's western state of Gujarat have evacuated more than 75,000 people.
Our ships are ready in the harbours, in the search and rescue and response mode, and in the marine pollution response mode. They are ready at various places at Mundra, Pipavav, Okha. They are standby. Further, we have kept 23 DRTs, that is the disaster response teams, all across Gujarat.
Biparjoy means disaster or calamity in the Bengali language. Now, the cyclone remains center of Jakao port in India's western state of Gujarat and off Pakistan's southern port of Karachi. Makeshift relief quarters were set up in school auditoriums and other government buildings to shelter the displaced in both countries. Meteorologists say that the cyclone could cause tidal waves in the Arabian Sea as high as 7 to 10 feet that could inundate low-lying coastal areas in both countries. Indian authorities suspended fishing until Friday. Schools have been shut and beaches are closed. Many offshore oil installations and major ports on the Gujarat coast have suspended operations as well. All right, to understand the ground situation better, we are being joined by our correspondent Disha Shah from Mumbai. We're also being joined by our Pakistan Bureau Chief Anas Malik from Islamabad. And to decode the cyclone Biparjoy more critically, Dr. Dushmanta Ranjan Patnaik, who's joining us live from New Delhi. He's a senior scientist at the Indian Met Department. Welcome to all of you all. I'd like to start with Disha, who's joining us from Mumbai. Disha, the landfall has started. The storm had lost some of its intensity, but the visuals we're seeing are very, very concerning. How do things look over there?
Well, certainly the landfall process has commenced. In fact, between 6:30 to 6:45 p.m. is what the IMD says that the landfall process has started. And as we speak, the latest IMD update has come in that it is 50 kilometers away from the Gujarat coast. And as we speak, the landfall process will continue till midnight. And as and when the landfall process is actually taking place, we are in touch with the Gujarat government officials. We are also in touch with the rescue teams as well, and they have told us that specifically in Kutch and Saurashtra, due to the high intensity of wind, due to a high rainfall as well, there were in certain parts trees were being uprooted is what we are being told. Few of the houses, kacha houses which were along the coastlines have been damaged, but not a major calamity or major damage that is being visible until now is the word coming in by the rescue team that is on the ground level. As far as the IMD update is concerned, this particular landfall process, the intensity will become even more stronger till midnight, and then it will weaken tomorrow morning is what we are being told. But as of now, there are about 18 NDRF teams who are who are on standby in these 18 affected districts in 8 affected districts. districts. There are about 12 SDRF teams as well. There are about 630 plus medical teams who are across, deployed in these districts that are likely going to be affected with Cyclone Biparjoy. So as of now, we are not seeing a lot of damage, is the word coming in from the Gujarat officials, because there are teams deployed at every part of the district where the cyclone could reach.
Right. Disha, stay with us. I'd like to cut across to Anas Malik, who's joining us, who's our Pakistan Bureau Chief. Anas, it's a cyclone the likes of which Pakistan has never experienced, and it's expected to hit the coastlines of both India and Pakistan. How are things looking at your end, if you can give us a more perspective from the ground?
Well, Pakistan has seen 3 deadlier cyclones or of the same nature previously. First in 1965, second in 1987, and the third being in 1999. So it's been roughly over 24 hours since Pakistan is witnessing something of this magnitude. Fortunately enough, the coastal city of Karachi, which is the heart of the country, it's safe. It's not in the cyclone-prone zone, but the landfall is expected to further down south from Karachi in the eastern parts of Sindh, in Thatta, in Badin, in Sajawal, and in KT Bandar. Precisely in KT Bandar, we've been hearing from sources on the ground that it's intermittent heavy rainfall that has been ongoing, but intermittently. With that, the safety nets that had been put in place, that doesn't seem to have held their post. But fortunately enough, the Pakistani side was prepared for this. They had done their evacuations. Over 82,000 people have been evacuated to safety. 8,000 cattle separately have also been relocated to safety. There are over 60 camps, medical camps that are currently operational, over 80 relocation camps that are operational, and another 106 that are on standby. So largely speaking, the Pakistani Met Department predicts that we would be seeing the landfall of Biparjoy in the next hour, between the next hour and 5 hours. That's what they estimate, and that the impact of it has slowed down, but the wind speed around it, even now, it's estimated to be between 120 kilometers to 140 kilometers. Shivan?
Right, that was Anas Malik joining us from Islamabad. Anas, stay with us. I'd like to cut across to our guest now, Dr. Patnaik, who joins us from New Delhi. Sir, how long is the landfall expected to last?
Yeah, the landfall process actually has commenced around 6:30 p.m. IST. So that process has started, and since it is a big, actually diameter also around 50 kilometers, the eye diameter. So it is first part the outer wall cloud will cross, then the eye will cross, then the inner outer will cross the land. So it takes around 5 to 6 hours. So that's why we are expecting by midnight the whole part of the cyclone will cross the land and it will be over the land. So that's why we are expecting it is to be over by midnight of today.
Right, Dr. Patnaik, what's the kind of impact one can expect beyond the coastal regions of Kutch and Karachi?
Yeah, this system is now very severe cyclone system, and after the crossing, gradually with the land, interaction with the land, it will slowly slow down the speed, etc. But still, it will not go immediately. We can do a very weak system immediately. Gradually, it will move in the same direction, east northeastward, and with tomorrow morning, let us say tomorrow forenoon, yeah, it will reduce to a cyclonic storm, and then day after tomorrow on 17th morning, we are expecting to be a depression. So gradually there will be decrease in intensity, but rainfall associated with the system and also the wind, that will remain. But as now during the crossing time, it is around 115 to 125 kilometer per hour, gusting to 140. So that wind speed is much higher, of course, but compared to very intense cyclones that also we have seen over that part, it is relatively weaker system than just like you remember Taukte cyclone in 2021, and also previously in 1998 also the Kandla cyclone. Okay, yes. So that was also around 165 km per hour, and Taukte was around 180 km per hour. So this is relatively weak, but still the intensity is not going to be diminish immediately, so it will have gradual decrease in intensity, but it will remain for that destructive weather like rainfall and wind that will be there for next at least 1 or 2 days.